This episode is brought to you by Haven Pelvic Physical Therapy, located at 189 Elm Street in downtown Westfield. They specialize in pelvic floor therapy for anything from back pain to pre- and postnatal treatments. Dr. Catherine Pace and her team are incredibly knowledgeable and ready to help you. Take their pelvic floor quiz online at havenpelvic.com. Welcome back to a new episode of That Westfield podcast. Today we have Tim and Erin Carroll of 908 Athletics and the new Endur Training Co. Welcome, guys. What's up?
Hi, Amanda. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, get a little closer, guys. No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I was super pumped to have you two. One, because you're just super nice people and have always been super supportive of Fettel and me. But I'm really excited because you guys are doing some new things that I can't wait to hear about. We were just chatting a little bit about it before we hopped on here, and these two, they're just creating something even better than they did before. CrossFit's been amazing. Obviously, you guys have been there for how many years now in Westfield?
14 in October.
14?
October 3rd.
In Westfield?
14 in Berkeley Heights, but 6 in Westfield.
Oh my God, that's crazy. What has been the biggest lesson you guys have learned being gym owners for 14 years?
Biggest lesson? I mean, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from owning your own business, as you know. But I think that it's harder than you anticipate, but we feel like the relationships that we've made with people and the lives that we've been able to affect through the gym makes it all worthwhile for sure. Very cool. Yeah. So CrossFit often has this kind of like misconception of being like scary for people. So what do you think makes it actually not scary? Let the people know why it's actually not what they actually think it is. That makes sense. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of connotations with CrossFit that it's too intense. It's intimidating, and you're going to walk through the doors and you're going to see like a bunch of people throwing weights around and swinging from the rafters. And I think it's hard for me to put into words why it would not be scary for someone. I think it's more like if you come and try it out, you would walk through the doors and you would see people. Yeah, there's people in their 20s and 30s, but we have lots of clients in their 50s and 60s. And all we are is your community-based gym looking to help people through strength and conditioning. And we subscribe to sort of the CrossFit methodology, but CrossFit's an affiliation. So it's sort of like if you could think of a yoga studio, not everyone is doing the exact same thing when you go inside of a yoga studio. It's like pizza. When you go inside, pizza places vary all over. Right. We like to think of ourselves as experts at catering to kind of our general population around us. That includes those 40s, 50s, 60s, those with injuries, those with limitations. That's where we feel we excel and can really serve our community. We still want to focus on getting people stronger and healthier through things like squats and deadlifts and presses. And for some people that's intimidating, but I think when it's taught to you and you're coached how to do it properly, I think that we can break down those barriers to entry and show people that it is something that if you want to do it, it is for you. Right. No, it's super cool watching you guys. You guys create so much good content. I love all the videos you do about how to actually do these things properly. Because I know a lot of people probably struggle with that, right? And there's a lot of injuries, obviously, that could be sustained if you're not doing stuff properly. So I think what you guys do in order to, like, I'm sure one-on-one in class, but also to potential people that are going to come in, it's like, wow, you guys really show how much you care and what you do, which I think is really special. Yeah, education for sure on what we're trying to do inside of our doors has always been one of the hardest points to get across. It's like we try to do these educational videos and tips and all that stuff, but again, I think just the name itself, like even though we're 908 Athletics, I think those around the area know us as a CrossFit gym, and that's enough for them to not maybe want to give it a shot. And if they don't follow us on Instagram and see the content that we put out, then it's sort of a miss. Right.
I mean, my parents both come to the gym. They're 70 years old. Wow. And 72. Your
mom looks great. I've seen her. I met her in person. She's amazing.
Serious goals right there. But I tell people that are scared, I'm like, just come in and we'll modify. We'll meet you where you're at, and then we can progress from there. Yeah. So, and you guys have great trainers. And Christine, it's awesome. And
in Berkeley Heights, we have two coaches that have been with us, Jake and Alan, for 12 plus years.
Wow.
And Sam and Christina have been with us since day one at Westfield, and Christina was with us before that. So, that having that coaching staff that understands the clients, that can build a relationship with them, ultimately aids in that relationship of teaching them and understanding where they are in their fitness journey, what limitations they may have, and modifying and scaling for them so that they can continue to progress.
And that's a testament to you guys too, for how you run your business, because it's, I'm sure, extremely easy to have a lot of turnover in gyms from my understanding. I don't go to a gym very often,
Yeah.
but from what I see, it's hard to keep people happy as trainers and to, you know, create that family environment. And you guys are doing it. Clearly, that's really awesome.
I mean, yeah, fitness in general is pretty fickle, right? I mean, people are in it 1 minute and then they're out of it the next. And so, yeah, it's definitely a challenge to keep people for the long haul, but it extends beyond fitness, right? Everyone knows that every gym is selling fitness, but there's other, you know, ancillary things like the coaching staff and the community, and that can help keep people there longer. And so. Right. Definitely member retention is something that we're always heavily focused on, because we know how easy it is to just either gym hop or, you know, just life throws a lot of things at you, right? Like people are going to be busier at certain points. They're going to have kids, jobs are going to change. They might move. And, you know, if they're still continuing to stay with you, that means, you know, you're probably doing something right.
Right. And so was this both of your ideas to start together, or did you have to, like, you know, twist your arm a little bit? How did this all start with, you know, 14, 15 years ago?
Well, Tim was working for Morgan Stanley in finance and just really was not thrilled with it. And then he found CrossFit and he was like, I want to quit my job and open a CrossFit gym. And that was back in 2009, maybe the end of 2008.
Were you guys married yet or dating?
No, that's a good story. So I quit my job and proposed to her in the same month.
Solid.
And she was like, really? I don't really feel like this is a great trade for me right now. Like, you're not making any money and now I have to marry you.
We were like, what, 25?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, young too. Wow.
And we were living in Hoboken together at the time. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to open your own business. I guess we have to leave Hoboken. And we moved back with my parents for like 2 years. Yeah. Because we had to plan a wedding and open a gym.
The hustle.
And it was just like all the money was going out the door. We're like, all right.
It's a little terrifying. Yeah.
But our parents, you know, they were like, welcomed us with open arms.
That's really nice.
It was like, you know, you don't necessarily want to have to move in with your parents post college, but like
that's considering
what we were attempting to do, it worked out well. And Erin was working at Santa Fe Adventist as a scientist in the lab doing.
You're a scientist?
Some drug discovery.
I did not do enough research prior to this episode to know about Erin's former life.
Major.
Really?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was hoping she was going to be a doctor and take care of me.
Right. No. Can all dream. Yes. Why did you decide that wasn't for you and you would just support this effort?
Sanofi had bought Genzyme and they moved out of New Jersey completely. All their R&D moved to Cambridge. So I was like, I'm not leaving. The gym that was 2012. So I was like, I'm not leaving New Jersey or the gym. And then that's when I was always helping 908 on the side for Tim. But then that's when I moved into managing the gym like full time.
Made things a lot more organized.
I'm sure.
Made my to-do list a little bit smaller.
That's awesome. Yeah. And having a partner that you trust and love, you know, obviously it can be challenging. My wife helped me at the restaurant a little bit towards the end, and you have to figure out how to work together, but just having that person that you trust more than anything, having your back is just awesome. It's super important. Yeah. That's really cool. So 14 years, you guys started the gym, you opened at Berkeley Heights first. And then what made you guys want to open in Westfield?
So in 2012, I partnered up with a couple guys and opened up CrossFit Jersey City. And so I was partners there for a couple of years and then sold out of that. And Erin and I, we had wanted to have a second gym. And then after that really didn't work out in Jersey City, we were like, okay, let's start looking around locally. And I think I always wanted to come back to Westfield. I grew up here and I thought that it suited the town well, right. You know? And so we started looking for spaces, but we were not being successful with finding spaces. There was just like very few warehouse style spaces, as you can imagine, in Westfield. Mm-hmm. And then after about a year of looking, we found the space that we're in now, which is adjacent to Walgreens. And that even from the day that we saw that to the day that we signed the lease was approximately 2 years.
Really?
So there was negotiations back and forth. And then another party came in and I think they wanted to do like an urgent care center, like one of those places. And then that fell through. Then they came back to us. So it was something that we had wanted to do. It just took a long time to get there. But ultimately the timing was as good as it could have gotten with getting the staff that was available at the time that we actually did open, between Christina and Sam to come over and really run the show there, it was like, oh, that's a good thing it took that long.
Right. Things work out sometimes the way they're supposed to. So you actually just told me about something really cool that you guys are now doing, which is, I think, going to change the game for people who feel like committing financially to working out can be a little bit of a struggle. So tell me more.
Definitely. So we were just, Erin and myself and one of our coaches, Jake, went up to a CrossFit affiliate summit in Boston at Noble headquarters, which is like an apparel brand that sponsors CrossFit. And we found out that they were sort of in beta testing for getting approval from, I guess, insurance companies to use HSA, so health savings account, and FSA, flexible spending account funds, which are pre-tax dollars, to use that towards paying for your gym membership. And so CrossFit, home office or headquarters, they work directly with a company called TrueMed to get this process, I guess, more streamlined.
Very cool.
And so when we came back, we made an announcement to our community that essentially, you go online through TrueMed, you apply, you fill out a questionnaire, go through all the details here, but you're approved pretty quickly. And if people have money in their health savings account, they can basically submit receipts from 908 Athletics, and then they'll get reimbursed that. So what the savings is, whatever your tax bracket is.
Very cool.
And then there's potential additional savings because some corporations will match your HSA funds. So if you put in 1,000, they put in 1,000.
Nice.
And then you're saving 30%. Like you're basically getting a $1,300 or $1,400 value for,
wow.
You spend $700, you get another $1,400.
Right. Type of thing. And you were saying that's because they're really just seeing this as preventative care now, working out, even though we've known that for 100 years. But
CrossFit made a big push to say CrossFit is medicine, to say this is preventative. Like we need people doing strength training. This is, what they preach both on the training front and on the nutrition front is very holistic from a life standpoint. I mean, most people see CrossFit as like the sport and the games, but like CrossFit Home Office, what they preach, what's happening in affiliates, is much more of that kind of medicine, that, so to speak.
Right now, I mean, there's been so much science over the last year or two, even like very recently, about strength training and longevity. So I'm sure you guys are going to live to be like 120, and I am not. I feel very not buff. I'm one of those people that's a little scared. I've been scared, but I also, because of my vision and stuff. But I think as someone who doesn't have that, like, there's no reason to be scared. But I'm just afraid of like knocking my head on something. But Erin could hold my hand and take me through the gym.
Absolutely.
I know I need to get over there, because I even, especially if you have an autoimmune disease, it's like strength training is number one. So I think it's really cool that you guys are kind of leading the way. Like I haven't heard of anyone else in the area doing something like that. So if you guys are struggling financially, that's you think of it as like an extra expense, and you have that money, it's just a no brainer, right? Yeah, you don't use it, right? And then like at the end of the year, you're like, I'm gonna go buy tampons, or condoms, and like what do I buy? Like, I gotta use up this money. So you can go to,
especially now, even if anyone hears this now, right? This is going to air in November. That's open enrollment season.
So if
you've got money left,
for 2024,
you're planning for, talk to your benefit provider, or talk to your HR department at your company and ask them, even if it's not 908 Athletics, right? Like figure out a way that like all that effort that you're putting in towards your fitness and your health, that can be, pre-tax dollars. Why not?
Is this the beginning of the industry changing for the better? Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's a big step, honestly.
CrossFit's always kind of been like that. Like they fought like Coca-Cola on stuff with like sugar issues,
nice.
And they've always been outspoken in that regard. But this is something that directly benefits the affiliates,
right?
And they took the lead on it, and we're super appreciative of that.
Very cool. So, told us a lot about 908. I want to hear all about the new thing you guys got going on. So first of all, congratulations on building something new. I know the feeling of having this idea in your head and nobody has any idea what you're thinking. And then within a couple of years, it's a living, breathing entity all on its own, has its own energy, right? It's its own thing. So tell me about your new baby.
So the new gym is called Endur Training Co. Endur, like endurance training co. And it's really spawned out of our experience at 908. Being a CrossFit affiliate owner for 14 years, we've seen clients and kind of their needs and wants shift. If someone was in their mid 30s and now they're approaching 50, they may feel like they're either needs are different. They don't want to do certain movements with a barbell, or they want to just kind of change up their training. We saw that there's sort of a void in the market between what we feel like we do at 908 Athletics with dedication to strength training, and then sort of like what the opposite end of the spectrum is for group fitness, which is mostly like boot camp and HIIT style circuit training.
Right.
And so, like you said, you're intimidated to walk into a CrossFit gym. We already know that a lot of people are intimidated to walk in. So our goal was to, from a gym standpoint, facility standpoint, kind of strip away all the intimidation factors. So, we won't be using barbells, so you don't have to worry about learning complex movements like the clean or the snatch. We won't be climbing ropes or anything like that. So we're removing a lot of the things.
Gym class trauma.
Yeah, that initially I think cause trepidation with people when they see that stuff. But we're still going to be doing strength and conditioning. We'll have kettlebells and dumbbells. We'll be doing, we'll have body weight movements, things like that. We'll have a kind of an array of cardiovascular machines, some that you don't typically see, like in a CrossFit gym, you don't really see treadmills. We'll have some curved treadmills. We'll have a climbing machine, which is very low impact. And sort of the underlying theme of it is that we still want to bring a very potent form of strength and conditioning, but with a kind of focus of longevity underneath it.
Cool.
We want to bring kind of that high level of coaching that we feel like we do at 908 Athletics, right? We don't want to just be motivators and facilitators of a class. We want to be there teaching people movement, how to move. We love the community that we've created at 908 and feel like we could do that again. The how of the programming of how we're doing things and how it's different than 908 lends itself to a way that we can also personalize workout plans for people, meaning even though it's group fitness based on the structure of the workouts, if someone's goal is strength training versus someone's goal of weight loss, we can guide them based on our program and what days to attend. And so It allows us to give a little bit of personalization to the workout. We're also going to have nutrition coaching, because anyone that's involved in fitness knows that if your nutrition's not on point, you can work out as many times as you want. You're not necessarily going to get to where you want to go, or at least it's going to be a lot slower. And then, accountability, retention will definitely have you kind of like quarterly tests so people can test their fitness, as well as sort of tracking so that you can see their progress. So I think we're bringing all the things that we love about 908 Athletics and kind of removing some of the things that we feel like kind of niche down the audience. And so hopefully opening up a casting a broader net for people to give it a shot. And we, talking to a lot of our clients at 908, they're like, oh, my husband totally said he would try that. Or my wife said she would totally, or my friends, they'll never come here, but they'll try it. I'm like, it's like they're selling it to me. And that's exactly what we think there's a void that we're trying to fill.
Yeah. I think with 908, people just see it as a CrossFit gym, even though we're always modifying things. We're changing things up every day for multiple people, because people have different needs or, issues, and we want to help them continue to work out and exercise and be healthy. So
like Erin's dad.
Well, my dad this is pre him coming into the gym at all. He always thought that he could never do it. But he's had both of his knees replaced.
Wow.
He was the mailman. So he's letter carrier. He,
is that the official
term?
The
motorcycle.
They don't like to be called mailman. They like to be called letter carrier.
The motorcycle going.
He crashed a motorcycle in his 20s. So, and he had he was all banged up from that. So I think just all whatever surgery he had back then, he had 2 knee replacements, and then he had, what else he had?
Rotator cuff surgery.
Wow. So he was like, there's no way in hell I can do CrossFit.
I was like, just come in. And then he started with private sessions with one of our friends, Emmy. And he was like, I can do this. And he actually goes 6 or 7 days a week.
That's
he
amazing.
More than we go, honestly.
Now I feel like a sissy.
He's committed, and he just does what he can do.
And it's not
you modify.
He's improved his fitness.
Yeah.
That's great.
So much.
And that's all to say that it's not that we're saying, oh, look at this guy and he's just a monster and he's doing everything. It's more look at this guy. He has every possible reason to say that he can't do CrossFit. And he shows up, and our coaches, our staff work with him to make sure that whatever his variation of the daily workout is something that's suitable for him And that's going to continue to kind of move the needle for him on his fitness,
right.
Not just be like, oh, go in the corner and just do this, or not pay attention, or tell him that, oh, sorry, we can't modify. You just have to do what's up there, right? You can't
that's
do that.
silly, right? And that's not serving the person. That's not helping the person, right? So, and that's what's great. I think, different types of workouts are, you can do anything, but being in an environment where you feel safe to say, hey, I can't do that, or to know that the trainers have your back, and you're just like, hey, I need, how can I do this a little bit differently? How can I adapt it? And just having educated people there who really know what to do and that you can trust is the most important thing in a facility. So where's the new spot?
So the new gym, Endur Training Co., is actually right on East 2nd Street in Scotch Plains.
Good spot.
Which is funny because it's like smack dab between Berkeley Heights and Westfield, location. So in a way, we may end up cannibalizing ourselves a bit, right? But that's totally fine. And I think it allows us also to pull from both locations. So for people that go to either, if they have friends in the area, we feel like one of our biggest pulls will be our current community. That, like, not that we're going to bring them over from 908 there, but that they'll recommend and refer us, because I think there'll be a trust factor there already.
Well, and there's like 1 million people moving into Union County, so I think you guys are going to be fine.
Berkeley Heights is going. I mean, I know down here too, but Berkeley Heights is crazy with building too. Wow. So I mean, all of that stuff. Typically, those kinds of places lend themselves to younger, active population, which is always good if you're a gym owner.
Going to be cool, man. So when are you anticipating, having the doors open and letting people in?
That's the $1 million question.
When this
yeah, we're going to be
Thanksgiving.
Cool.
The hope.
Yeah, we're hopeful for November 20th, that Monday.
Very cool.
But we got to do a soft opening before that and really work out the kinks and make sure that we're good to go once hopefully people show up.
Are you guys hiring right now?
We are. We're in the process of hiring right now.
Yeah. What's like your ideal staff member, trainer, team member? What do you guys call them?
Coach or staff member. Ideally, we want to hire the person, not necessarily the coach. So like finding someone that we feel like is invested in us, is invested in helping people, genuinely cares, is likable, is upbeat, smiles a lot. If we have that and a little bit of coaching experience, we can coach them up to being a great coach. Do
you guys like training and coaching coaches that are coming up? Do you find it personally rewarding?
I find it a challenge, but there's a big reward at the end of it when you see their progress from being a newbie and shadowing to then them leading classes in 6 months to a year and really feeling like you take their class and like, wow, they did a great job.
Cool. I love that. So what problem do you think that your business has solved for the community?
I think you can kind of aggregate it together and say that we're not just a one size fits all model of fitness. We are, even if you're walking into 908 or you're going to walk into Endur, we're able to cater to your specific needs. I know it's still group fitness, but our goal and what we think we do really well currently is that we're able to scale and modify and meet people where they're at, regardless of age and fitness level. So that's something that, I think certain models out there, it's just get in, get out. There's not a lot of time for teaching, scaling, modify. It's just like, gotta go, next class and go. And I think that what we do really well is that we're actually working with our people when they come in to make sure that they're having a successful class and a safe class.
Cool. And real quick, just give people just a broad view of like what your hours are like. Like, are you guys like 5 a.m. classes?
Yeah, we have 5 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Brave.
Early. And then our 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m., and then
afternoon
4:30, 5:30, 6:30. Wow. We have kids classes, kids and teens classes as well on Mondays and Wednesdays.
We're open
Saturdays and Sundays. We're
7 days.
7 days a week. We close usually 1 or 2 days a year. That's it.
Nice.
363 days.
Yeah.
What day do you close? Is it your birthday?
We close Christmas Day and we close the day after our holiday party.
I've been to the holiday party before. If you guys haven't been to
save the date.
You wouldn't want to work out in the gym after that.
No, it's wide. It's
it's a good time.
It was fun. It was definitely a good time. It's funny because you drink and then you want to climb the rope. That's when I want to climb the rope after the drinking. You're like, this is not our first rodeo. Awesome. All right. Well, tell everyone where they can find you. We'll drop them down at the bottom of the screen here, but let them know. Instagram everywhere.
908 Athletics, and Endur Training Co. And that's
on Instagram.
.com and EndurTrainingCo.com.
All right. So people can hit you up there, send you a message, contact form.
Yep.
Yep.
They will call you back directly because I'm saying that. I don't know if they actually do that, but if you call and say you heard them on that Westfield podcast, they'll call you back. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Best of luck with the build out and opening. And I know you guys are going to crush it.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the opportunity to come on here today and talk.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.